crew, the smallest functional unit in any military, defined by the equipment it operates rather than by a fixed head count. A tank crew is 4 soldiers: commander, gunner, loader, and driver. An artillery gun crew runs from 4 to 9. A helicopter crew may be 2. The crew has no tactical independence and cannot hold ground. It exists to keep one machine operating, and it is dissolved the moment that machine is out of action. Fireteam, the smallest organized unit in the United States Army and Marine Corps. 4 soldiers, led by a corporal or sergeant. It typically consists of a team leader, a rifleman, a grenadier, and an automatic rifleman. The fire team exists because 4 people is roughly the maximum one person can control by voice and hand signal under fire. Everything larger is built from this block. Squad, 2 or 3 fire teams totaling 8 to 13 soldiers led by a staff sergeant. The squad is the smallest unit that can maneuver independently in combat. One team lays down suppressing fire while the other advances. This is the basic tactical building block of infantry warfare. Most of what happens in ground combat happens at this level. Section, an organizational level used differently across armies. In the British and Commonwealth systems, a section is roughly equivalent to an American squad, at 8 to 10 soldiers. In the United States Army, a section usually refers to 2 squads or a small group of vehicles or crew-served weapons. It sits between the squad and the platoon. Platoon, 3 or 4 squads, totaling 16 to 50 soldiers, commanded by a lieutenant with a sergeant first class as second in command. This is the first level commanded by a commissioned officer, and for most officers it is their first command. A platoon can hold ground, conduct patrols, and execute a mission independently for a limited time. Company, 3 to 5 platoons, totaling 60 to 250 soldiers, commanded by a captain with a first sergeant as senior enlisted advisor. It is called a battery in the artillery and a troop in the cavalry. The company is the smallest unit with its own headquarters element and administrative structure. Soldiers identify with their company more than any other unit. It is small enough that the commander knows every name. Detachment, not a fixed size, but a piece of a larger unit sent to operate separately. A detachment can be 4 soldiers or 400, depending on what the parent unit assigns and what the mission requires. It retains its administrative link to the parent unit while operating under someone else's command. Signal, medical, and intelligence elements are frequently attached to combat units this way. The term describes a relationship, not a number. Battalion, 4 to 6 companies, totaling 300 to 1,000 soldiers, commanded by a lieutenant colonel. A battalion has its own staff, its own supply and medical support, and can sustain itself in the field for extended periods. It is the smallest unit capable of independent operations without external support. In most armies, the battalion is the fundamental unit of maneuver warfare. Regiment, 2 or more battalions, totaling 1,000 to 3,000 soldiers, commanded by a colonel. Its role varies significantly by country. In the United States Army, most regiments today are ceremonial lineage designations rather than operating units, preserved to maintain unit history. In the Marine Corps and in the British Army, regiments remain active, operational, and administrative formations with their own traditions and recruiting areas. Brigade, 3 to 6 battalions, totaling 3,000 to 5,000 soldiers, commanded by a colonel or brigadier general. The modern American brigade combat team includes its own infantry, armor, artillery, engineers, reconnaissance, and logistics. It was designed to deploy and fight without needing a parent division. Since the 2000s reorganization, the brigade has replaced the division as the primary deployable unit of the United States Army. Division, 3 or 4 brigades, totaling 10,000 to 20,000 soldiers, commanded by a major general. A division combines infantry, armor, artillery, aviation, and logistics into a formation capable of sustained combat operations across a wide front. For most of the 20th century, the division was the standard unit of large-scale warfare. Divisions carry the most recognizable names in military history: the 101st Airborne, the 1st Infantry, the 82nd Airborne. Corps, 2 to 5 divisions, totaling 20,000 to 45,000 soldiers, commanded by a lieutenant general. A corps is the largest formation that still concerns itself with tactics rather than pure strategy. It coordinates the movement of multiple divisions across a theater, allocates artillery and air support, and manages the flow of supply. Corps are typically identified by Roman numerals. Field Army, 2 or more corps, totaling 80,000 to 200,000 soldiers, commanded by a general. A field army operates at the strategic level, directing an entire campaign within a theater of war. The Third Army under Patton in 1944 and 1945 is the most widely known example. Field armies are rarely activated outside of large-scale conventional war. Army Group, 2 or more field armies, totaling 400,000 to over 1 million soldiers. This is the largest ground formation ever fielded. Army groups existed on the Eastern and Western fronts during the Second World War and have not been activated by the United States since. Command at this level is not tactical in any sense. It is the direction of entire national war efforts across continents. Theater, the highest organizational level, defining a geographic region in which all military operations are conducted under unified command. It encompasses land, sea, air, space, and cyber forces operating within its boundaries. The Pacific Theater and the European Theater during the Second World War are the clearest examples. In the modern United States military, theaters are managed by combatant commands, each responsible for a defined portion of the world. Task Force, a temporary formation assembled for a specific mission and dissolved when that mission ends. A task force can be built at any level, from a handful of soldiers to a multinational command of tens of thousands. It draws units from different branches and often different countries, placing them under a single commander who may not normally have authority over any of them. Task Force 121 hunted senior Iraqi leadership. Task Force 373 conducted targeted operations in Afghanistan. Every structure described above exists on paper. The task force is what armies actually build when a real mission arrives. Thanks for watching. Which unit did you serve in? Drop it in the comments. Also, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.